$3,000 a month. She spends $1,346
Month.
and save the rest. How much money do Mr. Rahan save each month?
Each month, thank you. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you guys your highlighter. We'll use our highlighters. So from the question, we're going to figure out what it is that we're looking for in this problem. So the question says, how much money does Mr. Rajan or Mr. Rahan, however you want to say, Mr. R, save each month? So what do you think is important from there?
Save each month.
Okay, that is important, but what are we talking about? How much what? How many pickles? How many?
Money.
How much money? So how can we make a little note that says we're going to be looking for money? What can we say? Or what little note can we make for ourselves? So we're looking for something. I like to put a question mark. And what are we going to look for?
Money.
How much money? Is there any special way that your teachers show you how to make a note about the problems? Okay, so the what? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this, because this way you just have a quick little note, so in case you forget, you can go back and figure out that you're looking for the amount of money. So question mark, money. Yeah, go ahead and write it down. Yeah, and it's in the problem, but sometimes you just need these little notes just to give you hints while you're working. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go into our problem. So now that we have our focus, we're going to look for the amount of money that they're saving each month. What is some important information we can get from the problem? Yes, thank you for using the brain.
Mr. Rahan, he have $3,000 in 1 month and
okay, so yes, you're right, but let's chunk it up. So this is one little chunk. So we can call him Mr. R, and it says that he earns how much?
$3,000.
Earns $3,000 a month. So how do you think that he's earning this money? How do you earn money? By working. So this person's probably working, so he works and then he earns this money. So think about it. If you're somebody who's working, you are going to get money, right? So that means that you would be what? Adding it or subtracting it? Adding it, right? So he's adding this into his account. So he has $3,000. So I would write the $3,000. Yes. Now, if you get confused, I know some of you, when you see all these numbers, you get confused. Remember that you can always use what? To keep your numbers organized. Use a place value chart if you need it, okay? Especially when we start adding and subtracting numbers. I'm going to have it right here. If you need it, you already know. Okay, I sometimes kind of mix up the place values. You have your place value chart ready, okay? So I'm going to leave this here in case you guys need to look at it. All right, so next sentence. Julie, what's important about the next sentence? What do you do, Mr. R?
He spent one.
Okay, so he spends 1,346. And Antonio, I saw that your hand was up. What were you gonna say? Hold on, Antonio's trying to talk. Hold on, sorry. The same that Julie said? Okay, so let me ask you this now. So you guys are correct. This is important that he's spending this money. But think about it. If he's spending money, what operation do you think is coming next? If he's spending, think about yourselves when you go to the store, you have this money and you're spending, so you end up doing what? He's subtracting, yes. Now, if you look at this, this is also one of the keywords that you guys can find under subtraction. Okay, so he is spending the money, he's subtracting it. So if I start building my equation, help me build it. So I have $3,000, and then what would I do next?
Subtract.
So he's subtracting, yes.
$1,346.
Okay. And can you explain to me again, Sophia, why are we subtracting?
Because the word is pen, it means you are subtraction.
Yeah, you're subtracting your money from your account. Very good. So we're starting to build our equation. $3,000 minus 1,346. Okay, so before we move on, go ahead and tell me how much money he has left over. So you can set it up. Okay, so from here, remember you're not able to subtract this way. What do you need to do? It's not impossible, but with regrouping, it's going to be very difficult. So how do you set it up? Well, when you subtract, do you just subtract from side to side? Horizontally? Exactly. Yes, 2 rows with the columns. And then if you need it, you have your place value here, your place value chart, to make sure that you have ones with ones, tens with tens, hundreds and thousands. Okay, go ahead and subtract. Okay, so look right here. So you had 0, you couldn't subtract. You went to the tens, you couldn't subtract. Went to the hundreds, could you subtract there? No, there's nothing. So you went all the way in. Why would you take the thousands away from it? How many thousands are left? You had 3. You bring over 1,000, you're left with 2,000. Now this is correct. You brought 10, but the tens needed help, so this is 9. You made 10. The ones needed help, so this is also 9. These are correct. Okay, you forgot. Let's start here. So fix that. Yes. Yes, so that's what we're going to get to, So what number is that? Is that a 5 or a 4? Okay. Do you have yours? Okay, go ahead and finish up this last part. Alright, so I'm seeing some different answers. So let me go ahead and work it out with you guys. So we are taking 3,000 and subtracting what?
1,346.
Yes, and they're all dollars. It's all money. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and look. So what did you guys notice as you started?
And the one. So the 0.
Hold on. Let her talk, and then right now you'll get your turn. Any of those you mean by ones? Right? Is that what you were going to say? Do you have something else to say?
The three numbers of 0, just the ones, tens, and hundred, but the thousand have the greatest number.
Yes, you're right. That's a good observation. So you guys are all correct. We can't subtract. We have 0 here at the top. There's nothing to subtract. You need to subtract 6, but there's nothing. You're going to borrow from the tens. There's nothing. Nothing in the hundreds. So the thousands does have the amount. So this is where we're going to get started. We're going to be borrowing it to regroup it over here. So let's see. If this is 3, we're going to send one of these thousands over. So we're left with what?
2.
Okay, so if you have 3, 1, 2, 3, and you are sending one over, you are left with 2. Okay, Now here, I am bringing over 10 hundredths. So what amount do I have here? I have 10.
But the 10 need help, so the 100 is another.
Very good. So if I see that my friends over here, my 10s and my 1s, they still need some help. So you are correct. I'm going to take one of these hundreds. Hold on, because I'm writing backwards. There we go. It's a 9. So we're left with 9 hundredths. Okay, and that becomes how many 10s?
9.
No, when you bring it over, it becomes 10. That's like your magical number.
The 1 need help too, so the 10 is 9.
Very good. So I am going to cross this out. That 10, I am going to bring, you're right, it is left with 9. And that 10, I'm bringing it over, and it becomes
A 10.
It becomes not a 10, it becomes 10 ones. That's why we have the place value. Okay, so let's go ahead and
Do it.
okay, Emmanuel, be careful. All right, so now that we have the greatest amounts at the top, think about it. Is 10 greater than 6?
Yes.
9 greater than 4?
Yes.
9 greater than 3?
Yes.
Yes, and 2 greater than 1?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and subtract. So 10 minus 6
4.
is 4, which I think a lot of you got. Some of you had 5. 9 minus 4?
5.
This is 5. Okay, 9 minus 3?
6.
6. And 2 minus 1?
1.
1. Very good.
Yeah. Like
1,000.
the big numbers is in the top and the smaller number is in the bottom.
The bottom 2, yes. So remember these last 2, when we add them up, they have to give us our greatest number. So let's finish up this problem because we have one little part left. So it says that he spends this money, and we already figured that out, and saves the rest. So which of these numbers is the rest?
1,346. I mean 50.
654, yes. This is the rest. So look, this is how much he has, how much he spends, and this is what is left over. And what is left over, what does he do? Yeah, and if you forget, yes, very good. So we can put a little arrow and we can put save. This is how much money he saves. So let's go ahead and write an answer statement that explains what we did here. So we can say Mr. R, what does he do? Saves
1,300. $654.
Yes, and be careful because that's the other amount that he spent. So he saves $1,654. How can we finish the sentence? He saves it. So you're going back in. Have y'all practiced this? Where you go back into the question and make it very good each month. So that way we check that what we answer is exactly what the question is asking for. It's asking for how much he saved each month. That's exactly what we're giving. How much he saved each month. Okay, is there any question or something that you didn't understand or something that you feel we need to practice more? What do you think we need to practice more?
I forgot the 1,000 because I think the 3 is not alive because the 3 is greater than the others. So I forgot and I put a 2.
Okay, yes, so let's go ahead and make a little note. So I think one thing, can you hold on because I'm working with a group. Hold on. So one thing that we're going to work on, we'll put it right here. Next time that we meet, we're going to focus on
The next problem?
yes, on the next problem, but we're going to focus a little bit more on subtraction, okay? All right, so go ahead and give me your papers.
Can I read this? I don't want to.